Welcome back! Last time we prevented the World 3 from, well, pretty much brainwashing all of our classmates and turning them all into child soldiers. But hey, Higsby did say that he was sorry, so it's all good. Today we're going to finally visit that and hopefully get that power up. So, real quick, before we head to the metro line, there's a couple new things in town. For example, this note was not here before. It says chip shop, opening soon. This house is deserted, or at least for now. Also, there's an NPC right here. Hey, you got a Fire Tower F? It makes this cool fire. If you have one, I'll trade you this Dynawave R for it. We have plenty of Fire Tower Fs, so let's do it. Oh, too cool! I really wanted one of these. Here you go. And we got a chip for Dynawave R. So, Dynawave R. It is pretty much the ultimate form of the Shockwave attack. It deals 100 damage and it is even faster than Sony Wave. So, yeah, fantastic chip. The only reason that I'm not going to put it in my folder now is because we only have one and R isn't really that good of a code, so I'm not going to be using Dynawave. But once we are in an area where we can encounter the virus that drops it, it will replace Sony Wave pretty much. Anyways, here's the metro line. Let's go in. What's the problem here? This is the AC/DC metro line station. Why do I look so glum on opening day, you ask? Looks like there was a landslide, and we can't run. What do they mean they don't know when the trains will run? So it seems like, of course, there's a problem that we need to fix. Did you hear about the landslide? We did. Because of that, you can't buy tickets yet. Or did you want something else? So he can tell us what happened or where we can go. The whole train system is run by a computer. When there's an accident, the safety program should stop the trains, but the program was hit with a virus. It doesn't look like anyone broke into the control room. So we think that someone got into the net. Do you want to hear that again? No, we got it. Lan, want me to check things out on the net? Let's go ahead and do that. Lan, you got mail. So about that, I forgot to check the first two mails in the previous episode, so let's do that real quick. Student net crime on the rise. The reasons are, well, unknown at the moment. We know now. And of course, we owe Yai a favor. But we do have a new email. My Gutsman is ready to take you on, if you're not chicken. So keep in mind what Dex just said. He just said that he's ready to take us on. So what happens if we actually go talk to him? Hey, you have a recovery 50L. If you give that to me, I'll net battle you for my link. So he says that because basically if we didn't have a recovery 50L, he would say that he's actually not ready to fight because he needs to patch up Gutsman. And he will ask for a recovery 50L, which is the chip that we actually obtained on Mail's piano. So that's what I meant when I said that it was really important. We don't really need it, so let's go ahead and give it to him. Prepare to meet your maker! So it's another Gutsman fight. He's a bit stronger this time, granted, but so are we. Come on. Oh, really? Okay, he was lucky, I guess. Okay, let's see if I can actually get him with Fire Tower this time. We did. And there we go. Huh? What's wrong with him? He looks a little pale. Oh! Huh? Is he okay? Maybe the shock... Don't tell me you're not going to give me a link again. I can't believe I lost to you. It must be fate. But I always keep my promises. The link is yours. And we got the link to Dex's. So yeah, we can finally expand the area. Thanks, Dex. I owe you one. Hey, wait. Use this too. And we got a chip for Gutsman G. You got talent, Lan, so go make me proud. I guess Dex wasn't so bad after all. Yeah, thanks, Dex. So, a couple things. First of all, Gutsman, let's go over it real quick. The first proper Navi chip that can attack the entire screen, it deals 40 damage, which doesn't seem like a lot at this point, but it does crack all panels, so it can be useful. Also, Gutsman is the final ingredient in a new Program Advance, and it's also the final type of Program Advance, the Special Series. And not only that, it is also the strongest Program Advance in the whole game, at least when it comes to single value damage. It is called Gutsshoot. It requires Medgar G, Dash G, and Gutsman G. As we'll see later, we can get better versions of other Navi chips, so we can get Gutsman 2 and Gutsman 3. It doesn't matter which one you use, and it will not increase the damage. But yeah, it deals 500 damage, which is an amazing amount of damage, and it is the strongest one. It's not flawless. Some enemies that have ways of avoiding damage, like barriers, can be protected from it. But yeah, we got the first of the special series of Program Advances. So now that we have Dex's link, we can expand into Internet 2. And it'll be a shortcut if we go in from his computer. However, I want to do it from our house because there's something that I want to show you real quick. I heard that you deleted Fireman, wow! But be careful. There are sometimes copies of deleted Navis in the net. Almost sounds like a ghost story, huh? It does sound like a ghost story. It's a good thing that ghosts are not real. Oh hey, we got another Dash G. Not that we'll be needing it, but it's nice. So I want to go this way real quick. And I want to get rid of the enemies so I'm not interrupted, so let's do this. Alright. So, before you move any further, you may want to save, and you're about to see why. So, it turns out that Navi was not lying. We have a rematch with Fireman finally. So, anytime that you defeat a Navi, after a certain point in the story, they can be encountered again. They will always reappear in a set spot, and you can fight them again, and regardless of how you do, you will get their Navi chip. Which is why it doesn't really matter that much that I'm getting damage here. Now, I want him to show one attack that he never did when we fought him first. So, I'm hoping that he does. No, that's not it. I'm going to get the two escapes only just to get them out of the way. There we go. That's the attack. He will pretty much lay out the small bombs that do occupy your spots, so they can be rather annoying if he does it many times in a row. Luckily, they do not deal damage right away, only once they explode. Okay, it's over. So yeah, as I said, this wasn't my best fight, but we got Fireman F nonetheless. Alright, so a couple of things. First off, when it comes to battling Nabis, some of the previous factors that I mentioned earlier do not matter. So for example, movement is not a factor because that would be a bit insane. Double deletions does not, of course, because it's always, or in most cases, it's only one enemy at a time. The biggest factor is time, really. If you can win the fight without taking any damage under 30 seconds, you'll most likely get a rank of 10 or higher. Alright, on to the battle chip that we just obtained, Fireman F. Also, Navi chips always come in one single code, so you will never get like a Fireman A or Fireman B. So Fireman F, it is pretty much his flamethrower attack. It deals damage in a straight line and it goes through enemies. It stops time, so if you get 3 enemies at the same time, you may get a triple delete. Now that we encounter Fireman in this set spot, he will appear randomly throughout Internet 1, and if you fight him, you might get Fireman 2 or Fireman 3. So Fireman 2 is exactly the same, only deals 120 damage. Fireman 3 is exactly the same, only deals 150 damage. You may also just run into him, fight him, and only get Zenny. Unfortunately, but yeah. There's a 50-50 chance, even if you're at the right busting rank, whether you get a chip or just some Zenny. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, I really want to make our way to the Internet 2 area. And here we are. Yeah, we already know this. We access the link, and we gain access. Cool, now we can pass through. Finally, I mean, we had our third time exploring Internet 1, but I'm really in for some change of scenery. Let's see what Internet 2 looks like. And it's exactly the same. Well, it is only the second area. It's okay if they copy the same visuals or the same style for 1 or 2 areas. I shouldn't really complain too much about that. If you keep winding up from here, you'll see the Metroline safety program. I just saw some really big guy there. Oh, and if you go down that ramp and take the first turn, you can go to the lower level. So Internet 2 is a rather large area and it's a bit of a maze if you don't know exactly where you go. Also, we have a few new enemies here. I will be skipping any fights with any of the repeating enemies because there are a bunch. So let's make our way through here as quickly as possible. Hey, look at that. Right off the bat, we got a new enemy. So, this is just like an upgraded version of Swordy. It deals fire damage, but that doesn't really mean anything to us right now, so... I'll go over the new chips once we're done with this area. For now, I'll just move along as quickly as possible. Okay, we did get finally another new enemy. So that enemy, make sure that you take him out right away, because he is very tough. We didn't actually get to see the attack, but I'll show it to you while I show you how its chip works. So just take my word for it that it is very annoying. And look at that, we got Cannon C. This is the other spot where I mentioned that you could get Cannon C. Alright, so we're actually about to run into the boss fight. We didn't run into one of the enemies that I wanted to show you, but we'll fight the boss and give it a couple more tries. Gok Gok, out of my way. What do you think you're doing? Gok Gok, blocking the Metroline security program. So the Metroline won't open. Why would you want to do a thing like that? To control the net. Not another World 3 crony. Get those rocks out of here. Stoneman must delete all programs that interfere. You're the one who's going to be deleted, Lan. Let's go, Mega Man. Battle routine set. Execute! Alright, so Stone Man. Already a new boss fight. Luckily though, he is quite easy. That attack of his can be rather annoying once it gets faster, but for now, yeah, that one was actually rather close, but we have nothing to worry about with him. Similar to Numberman, he does not move around a lot, at all, sorry. He will summon these blocks, but they are rarely an obstacle. So he has one more attack that I'm hoping that he shows. I might give him some more time so he can use it. Come on, do it already. Okay, so if he doesn't use it soon, I'll just... Okay, there we go. He will summon that thing and shoot a laser. That's it. And we're done. Lan, we did it! Right on! Let's get the security program running. Leave it to me. This should let the metro line open safely. Let's hurry up and get the power-up program. Okay. So, a couple things. First of all, regarding Stone Man, you may recall that when talking about Fireman and Numberman, I said how I did not recommend using Zeta Cannon against them at all. I do recommend it against Stone Man, and the reason why it works against him is because of the way that invincibility frames work in this game. It is rather inconsistent. Now, just looking at Stone Man from the fight we just had, you might think that he doesn't activate any iframes. He does. Every enemy, every boss fight in this game seems to have like a value, like a damage threshold that if you go over, they will activate iframes. For Stone Man, it has to be 100 or above. If you do any attack under 100, he will not activate iframes. If you use Fire Tower on him, which I didn't, he would have activated iframes. Now, Fireman and Numberman, they activate iframes pretty much from the weakest of attacks, so yeah. Hence why Zeta Cannon is not that useful. If you use it against Fireman, who also tends to move around a lot, the iframes take out some of your 5 seconds, and even if you somehow manage to have him stay still, the most you'll get is like 3 cannons, which is the same you would get if you didn't fuse them into Program Advance. Now, I'll show you real quick on screen how much damage I was able to deal to Stone Man. Specifically with Zeta Cannon 2, it absolutely demolishes him. But yeah. Also, about that new enemy. Let's give it a couple of random encounters. If he does not appear, I'll just go over the chip that it drops, and we'll leave it at that. Alright, so we didn't run into him, let's quickly jack out and I'll go into more detail about that enemy. So, that enemy that we didn't encounter. It is called a Hardhead. And this early on in the game, it is one of the most annoying enemies. Not so much when it comes to fighting him, but more so when it comes to getting the chip that it can drop. Because it will only drop it if you get a rank of 10 or higher, meaning that you need a double delete. Also, this enemy will shield himself from damage from at the very least 5 seconds, meaning that he will eat one of your points from your time score. And yeah, the best thing that you can do this early on is if you get Fireman F, You may be able to manage to have him line up alongside another enemy. He appears with the Fire Tower viruses and the Swordies. If you can line up the Swordie as well as the Hardhead, you may get a rank 10. I'll show you on screen how I did it, but you may notice that I didn't actually get the chip, even though I had achieved the necessary rank. And that really just ties into how I feel like the drop system in this game could be much better. I just wish that regardless of your rank, at the end of every fight you got some Zenny. And if you do well enough that you've earned a battle chip, the game should just give it to you. More so if it's a battle chip that gives you different codes depending on your rank. Say for example that I defeat a Meteor with a rank 10. I should get some Zenny and the option to choose between Shockwave and either version of Medguard. That way you have more control and the game still rewards your skill. But anyways, about the chip that you get from Hardhead. It is called Howitzer. It is pretty much it's like a mini bomb, only it deals 150 damage, which is insane this early on, and it also breaks panels. Quite useful, and it is the strongest chip strongest bomb type chip for a while. Up next we have Fire Sword. It is a white sword that deals 100 damage, very useful, especially later on when we encounter some wood viruses. And then we have Mine. Quite an interesting one. It deals 160 damage. It places a mine on the side of the enemy's field. If any enemy steps on it, it will deal 160 damage. When you fight the virus, he can place one on your side as well. It deals 100 damage and he can place multiples, so that's why when you're in a fight against that virus, you may want to get it out of the way real quick. But anyways, we cleared out the way for the Metro line, so how about we actually use it? The safety program is fixed, and the trains are running. Awesome. So we can get a ticket, in this case to the government complex. This is the station for the government complex. Are you here for the tour? Sure, why not? Yeah, not much reason for a child to come otherwise. I mean, it is a government facility, yeah, a child shouldn't really be here. But here we are. So I think that's more than enough for now. We explored Internet 2, we got a bunch of Navi chips, and we got a few program advances. Next time we'll hopefully talk to Dad and finally get that power-up program. Thank you for watching.